the guys just starting out, a little quick live pop up, in case somebody sees it on the replay. I didn't give any notice. I'm just jumping on. I want to talk a little bit about, the mindset, some of the things that I talk about, with the other practitioners. I like to sort of drop off on the people, the Facebook group. And we might have talked a little bit about this before, but it always bears going over. And for me, it's the 5 parts about, how we reach a transformation and a change. The thing that I love to talk about and love to talk to people is, helping them understand that it's not unusual. Well, it's to be expected that people in a situation that someone they love, a young person that they love, is in trouble with maybe a substance or a behavioral issue, and you seem helpless. Well, one of the main reasons why you seem helpless is because that's it, the situation. By the time you get to a practitioner or someone like myself, who's a transformational person to help you make that change, you've already been dealing with it so long that you do feel beat, you feel defeated, you feel like it's inevitable what's going on, and that's understandable, and most of my time is just spent trying to convince people that it's not inevitable, and you have an opportunity to change. Just do a few things, and follow along with a few things. So again, I want to go over the. It's really a 5-step process. First step being in 2 parts. So let's just get right into it and talk about it for a little while we got some time, and I jump on here. The first thing is, and I always talk about this, and I label it as patient fortification. But what it really means, what it really means is that there's assets that you have and you can use. And for some of you, I'm talking about assets, people trying to help you. Maybe a drug and alcohol rehab, it may be a parole officer, it may be a counselor, it may be a social worker, it may be a course that you guys try to take to help out, or a court-ordered course, anything that is, looking to help you with that situation. Maybe one of your practitioners, if in fact you have a co-occurring, physical or mental health disease, for example, nothing to be ashamed of. The fact that you'd be congratulated that you're even working on it and taking time to work on it, so that's great. But that's what I call, fortification process. In other words, giving you tools to help you, be able to overcome the situation. I feel as though the practitioners and myself, it's a patient fortification process here to help you, and I'll get into why we think, and I'm a stone believer in this, just here to help you. It's very important not to do it because this is the reason why there's so much failure in our business, in our genre, in our, you know, the thing we like to do to try to help people and help lives. This is why there's so much failure, and this is why people have been so down on it and down on the process. This is because we've taken a role that we don't deserve, we haven't earned, and shouldn't earn. The change is made by you and your family. That's who's actually doing the heavy lifting, to be truthful. We're helpers, okay? And that's part one. Part one, 1B, 1.5, the second part to that is clarification. And next week, I'm going to start getting in here and really talking about some of the things that you need to do, specifically for people who are sending a young adult to drug and alcohol. One of the big things that I find is that causes, anything will cause a distraction. One of the distractions is not knowing exactly what's going on in the aspects and information that is available for you. You can't know everything, and you can't handle every piece, and you can't go in there and handle certain things for young adults, especially if they're of age. But there's some things that you can handle. There's some information that you should know, information about the facility that you should know, contact information, specific contact information, who, what, when, where, and why contact type information, okay? Some of the things that go on in the facility, how things are carried out, what is the modes of operation, There's no need to ask them what their success rate is, because you'll never get that kind of answer. But you can know what you're looking at, who you're dealing with, and get some accountability first from the people that are responsible, the practitioners, administration, You can get some contact and some information and responsibility from them. And that does so much to clarify purpose and understanding between you and the young adult that you are playing your role, not an interfering role, but you're playing a role. That's so much because in times of guilt and anger, everything is perceived to be, interference and, meddling and things of that nature. You want to know that's not what you're doing. You're here as a support artist. Support artist, I like that. So, patient clarification. We've developed 101 questions and answers that you need to know. You don't have to answer all of them because you may know some of them. But there's 101 things you should know and have a feel for. And we're going to start delivering them out soon. And the caption under each one is, this is something you should know. And if you're afraid to ask, I'll ask for you. So that's my open invitation to people, If you're in that situation, that's my open invitation for you. Number 2 is the outcome mindset. This is so huge. Without a clear destination meaning where you're going to end up. That's important. Where you're going to end up. Getting better. I've talked to so many people and I've seen such. I just want you to get better. I want you to get better. Especially the rehab game, getting better is a death rattle because getting better provides no anchor, no destination, no mindset as to where you are now. Is a destination a finish point? No, but it is an arrival point to where you're going to begin the rest of your life. It's the destination. It's where you start off, where you'll be starting off again. Henceforth, the name of our company is Second Starts. So the outcome mindset is very important. We firmly disagree with the mindset that, we don't. If you shoot for too much, you'll be disappointed. You'll be disappointed if you don't get out of this. You'll just be more than just disappointed. You'll be hurt. Your lives very well may be destroyed. And with the things that we're dealing with now, lives can end quickly and abruptly. So there's no need to shy away from an outcome mindset. We'll talk more about that. The third, self-generated system. We as practitioners in the fortification that we offer you, we have a template or way we like to do things. Obviously, we have to come up with something. But if it is not customized to your family and to your young adult, customized to, your mindset, where you want to go, how you like to do things, how you're more comfortable doing things, that's customized to you. It's not a real system. And it's a system, that will meet failure shortly if it's not customized totally. We have in parenting your child in recovery, we have an outside template. And what we do is we take you and fit the template around you and your family and your goals and your needs. And that's so important. It has to embrace your mindset, your thoughts, and the way you see things and the way you like to deliver things and really associating the actions with your specific goals. That is so important. It has to be a self-generated system. The system has to be, you had to make it your own. And that's the only way it can work. Number 4 is accountability. And this one's huge. Because accountability, it doesn't just mean outside people. It also means yourself. It means your family. It means the young adult. Everyone must prescribe a level of accountability, okay? Because accountability is the human fuel that makes this thing go. We're all human. And we thrive and we decay with the help of each other. I want to repeat that. We thrive and we decay with the help of each other. So accountability is huge. It cannot be understated, The last one, 5, is what we call perpetual power. No matter what you do, no matter what system we adopt, no matter what destination you have, you must have a way of creating your own powerhouse. Because the drag of people, places, and things, situations, jealousies, those that mean well but are destructive, those that mean destruction but appear to be meaning well. These are all people that try to interfere with your power source, okay? And when I say power source, I don't mean, and this is not to slight your religion or your mindset, but I don't mean something that you look to. I'm talking about something that you physically use to regenerate, okay? And you use that as a power source specifically for this event, specifically for getting to a destination, which can be your new starting point. That's so important, I can't even say. So that perpetual power is very necessary. Now, to put this all in the metaphor which I like to put it in, okay? The first thing is the patient fortification. Those are the tools that you're going to use to get this underway, okay? Those are the tools, okay? The outcome mindset is the destination, okay? The self-generated system is the vehicle that you will ride to you and your family's peace of mind and, prosperity for the next generation, the arrival at an honesty and truth between you that you haven't really had to deal with before. Because once you are all on the same page, knowing where you're going, understanding your methodology, knowing which way you're going to turn because you've discussed how you're going to react, and all come into one mindset, that is, a vehicle. Okay? Accountability is the fuel, that human fuel. Yourself, your family, your friends, your mentors, people that you need to impress, people that you want to impress. Human beings that you want to show up and show out for. Not just now, but in the future. Okay? So that's accountability. Who are you looking to, bestow your gifts upon? And you want them to see and watch you rise, you and your entire family. Okay? And then, of course, the perpetual power is that motor. Okay? So you got the fuel, the motor, the vehicle, the destination, and the tools to get there. Those are all things that come together in a system that can be and should be implemented in order to create a change. That is so important. Creating a change, not getting better, but creating a change. So just a little bit about, some more of the healing mindset, the healing economy. Some things for you to think about and, bear witness to. So again, parenting your child in recovery, if you have a young adult that you're responsible for, that you mentor, that you love, and you're looking to give them an opportunity and the path in order to be great, parenting your child in recovery. We start from the very beginning, build a system that doesn't go over and over and on and on. It's an implementation and it's an installation and it's a lifelong installation. So see you again in the next live. It's not scheduled. I'll just pop up. So for Richard Jones for parenting your child in recovery. Take care, man.